Okay, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation you Akim out there that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity. You know, just pondering on the destruction that's going to come upon you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. That's a part of the 2/3, man. You know, it's a sore destruction and punishments by the way of martial law, whether you die from the famine, being involved with race riots, getting put to death by the sword, from a wicked nigga such as yourself, or from one of them Gurkha troops, or one of them UN troops that's going to have this city besieged. And we talking about all of America, man, during the time of martial law. For that time is surely coming, man. And why these things are going to come upon the 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Because you despise the laws of the Most High. You know, and by that, you're going to be put to death, man. Because there's no other remedy for you, man. Because you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans are totally bugged up your mind. Yesterday, I was on my lunch break, so I was going to get me a fish sandwich. And I passed by, and these jakes was debating with themselves. They was calling themselves Moors. They said, yeah, we Moabites. So I stopped and I looked at them. And they was like, Moab means Moabite. That they from the seed of Moab. So I just looked at them, and the first scripture came to my mind was, you know, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So I just looked at him and shook my head, and he had the nerve and the audacity to ask me why was I shaking my head. Well, my response was, you're not a Moabite, man. You're an Israelite. From whatever perspective tribe you are. If you're a Negro, you're from the tribe of Judah. But he was an old dirtbag Negro with no teeth in his mouth, talking shit, thinking he knows something. So I was like, hey, listen, hey, man, if you think you're a Moabite, and those are the Chinese, why don't they go to the Chinese store? Why don't you go in there and see if they accept you? He just looked at me. I said, yo, you niggas is bugged out, man. And you deserve everything that's going to come to you. And I walked away from him. Stupid. I mean, Jakes is fucking gone, man. And I see why the Most High is going to do away with 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Because y'all just fucked up in the head, man. You don't have a clue what's going on. You don't know who you are. You don't want to know who you are. You just out there lost. You just lost, man. Just because, and I did say this before I walked away, just because you got gray hairs doesn't make you wise, man. Because them gray hairs don't mean shit, bro. You calling yourself a Moabite, you lost, bro. Then you calling yourself a Moor. I don't know, man. Jake just deserve death, man. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse, let's see where I'm going to start at. I'm going to start at verse 20. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the laws of the Most High Yahweh that is set before them. Case in point, if you calling yourself a Moor, you despise the laws of the Most High that was set before you. If you calling yourself a Muslim or a Kemet or any other identity other than you being an Israelite, man, you're going to perish, man. You're going to get put to death, man, because you despise the laws of the Most High that was set before you, man. You have not a clue of who you are. Jake is that's fucked up, man. Excuse my French, I know I'm, you know, but on the overall aspect of everything, man, Jake out there following the ways of Esau, being homosexuals, being lesbians, dressing up, being transgenders, being gangbangers, committing adultery, sleeping with other men's wives, and taking pride in it, man. You're just lost, man. And death is coming, man. Death is coming. What you saw in New Zealand at that mosque, that's what's coming for you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Death, man. Death and destruction. Why? Because you're part of the 2/3. And you don't want to get right. Back in 2 Ezra 7:20, for there be many that perish in this life, the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because they despise the laws of the Most High Yahweh that has been set before them. Verse 21, for the Most High have given straight commandments to such as came what they should do to live. Going back to our forefathers, man. We are our forefathers. You know? What we should do to live and what we should observe to live, man, to avoid punishment. It's going to say that, man. It says, for the Most High, 2 Ezra 7 verse 21, for the Most High have given straight commandments to such as came what they should do to live, even as they came and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Observe the laws, statutes, and commandments. Observe the high holy days. Observe the Sabbath. These are the things that we ought to do to live, man. This praise Yahweh Yahweh Shah. Do what we got to do. Far as with these laws, the statutes, the commandments, and our holy days we have to observe, but none of our forefathers didn't do that. And that's why, hence, we're in the situation we're in right now. And that's why we are on the shores of America serving out our slavery, man. Because disobedience. But on this side of America, but on this side of the earth, in the land of our captivity, certain men that's a part of the elect is going to remember themselves and call on the name of Yahweh Yahweh Shah, man. And rehearse the righteous acts, man. Observe the high holy days. Observe the Sabbath. Observe the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability while we in the land of our captivity, man. So we can avoid punishment, avoid death, and seek salvation. But 2/3, y'all don't want that, man. Y'all want to be Moors, y'all want to be Moabites, y'all want to be Buddhists, y'all want to be into Islam, y'all want to be into Kemet. Calling yourselves being a part of a black consciousness community. Y'all don't have a clue what's going on, man. Therefore, man, death is waiting for y'all. It says, verse 22, 2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 22. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him. Our forefathers were not obedient to the Most High Yahweh Yahweh Shah. And them same disobedient souls are back today, man. The 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans that that get on the comment board and scoff and scorn, that walk past the camp and murmur things in your mind that the Most High can't read your thoughts, man. That the Most High don't know your thoughts. You have forsaken the ways of the Most High. Therefore, during the time of martial law, the Most High is going to forsake y'all. The Most High is going to put y'all to death, man. It says, nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, who Yahweh Yahweh Shah, but spake against him and imagined vain things. The very same thing you Negroes do today, man. On the comment board, you walk past the camps talking shit. You try to demonize us by calling us pedophiles and rapists and any other wicked and vain imagination that you can imagine against us. You'll bring out to us, man. You'll accuse us, man. All kind of false accusations, man. Y'all, ain't nobody in Great Millstone have ever raped anybody or touched anybody, man. No little kid or whatever. You calling us perverts and child molesters and all that, rapists. So therefore, from all these things, y'all gonna pay, man. Every last one of y'all. It says, nevertheless, back in 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 22, nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds. Being gangbangers, talking shit against the Most High's prophets, scoffing and scorning, dibbing and dabbing into other philosophies, calling themselves Moors and indulging in Islam and all sorts of madness, man. And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not and knew not his ways. Because you got certain jakes out there saying that the Bible is a fictional book. You got certain jakes out there that believe that the white man wrote these scriptures, man. They deceiving themselves by their wicked thoughts, their wicked deeds. Because Esau, the so-called white man, sexual is okay. But what about what the scriptures say? So you deceiving yourself with your wicked deeds by being homosexuals, by being adulterers, by being lesbians, by getting into other philosophies. You deceive yourselves, man. So therefore, that's why it says, there be many that perish in this life. And that's you 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. It says, for there be many that perish in this life because they despise the laws of Yahweh that is set before them. That's why death and destruction is coming by the way of martial law. Oh yeah, death and destruction is coming. It says, this is the last verse. I'm going to jump down. And let me see. This is the last verse. It says, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 3. It says, there be many created, but few shall be saved. There's millions of Israelites out there, but only a small number, which is 1/3, and 144,000 is going to be saved, man. Why? Because they despise the laws of the Most High, man. They have not observed. They don't want to even acknowledge any of the laws, statutes, and commandments, nor the high holy days, man. Why? Because they into their own wickedness, man. That's why it says in 2nd Ezra 8th chapter, the 3rd verse, there be many created, but few shall be saved. There's going to be a lot of death and carnage out there. Like it says in 2nd Ezra, it's like it says in Isaiah, the 66th chapter, the 15th verse, or the 16th verse, that the slain of the Lord shall be many. The slain of the Lord shall be many. You understand what I'm saying? Death is coming by the way of martial law. Because Esau, the so-called white man, is the Lord's sword. And Esau's sword is going to get busy. Hey, so with that, I'm going to give all praises once again to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And salutation, you Akim out there, that's sincere, man. Hey, with that, Shalom.